not your best one, but
just
not
like
your worst.
I'm not saying that one. I'm saying the fact that we do an 8 count for one clap.
Oh, right. It's because we're
know.
different and quirky.
You need a lot of guidance.
It gives you a real good setup for the rhythm of the count, though. It gets you prepared.
It does, yeah.
You know?
That's the whole point. We'd fuck
the
up
whole
every
point.
time otherwise.
Look at how much sandwich I have left to eat.
Is that from Mickey D's?
You have no idea what this is.
What
This
even
is
is it? Looks like a McChicken.
This is a hero, actually.
Oh,
Real
yeah,
hero.
okay, I see, yeah.
You're my hero.
Boku no hero.
Boku no hero.
Dude. I watched a television show. A television program.
Interesting.
Getting right into it.
Yeah. I watched it with my pop. It was the new Ahsoka show. 2 episodes.
Oh, the Star Wars one?
Yeah.
Is it good?
No, it was absolutely brutal. It was.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
It was.
Should I
dog
watch
water.
that on like stream? That's what I should do.
Yeah, she should.
I wish I could do that.
I mean,
You do it in the Discord,
yeah.
like the way you did with the.
I could
what you're
probably
watching over there.
record it on
YouTube.
OBS while doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Wow, that's ass.
I mean, it looked, like $1 million, and there was some cool music actually, but beyond that, I don't think it had any redeeming qualities. There's one guy, this guy, Ray Stevenson. Have you ever heard of him? He's an actor,
No.
but he plays one of
maybe
the
I've seen
villains. He had some gravitas, He had something. Every other character was just it was like they were baked. Like they had nothing. But there was one of the characters was watching a hologram of her friend that's missing or gone, and she just
This guy died. Ray
he died
Stevenson.
recently. Yeah,
Oh, my God.
Shit.
Ray Stevenson.
In May.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's funny because we were watching Housey Draggy, like an episode of that before watching Ep 2, which we watched the other night. And it was just, the contrast was insane. Like there was a scene where it was the two younger versions of the 2 main girls, Rhaenyra and Alicent, I think I want to say. The redhead and then the main, blonde chick that is in House of Dragon when they're younger. And they're at the crypt or whatever, and there's it's like a dimly lit scene with candles, and they're just talking about their mothers that have both died and stuff like that. And there was just, in that scene alone, that was more entertaining than the most exciting thing that was happening in the Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Because there was just,
I mean, good acting will
Great
make a show, dude.
oh yeah.
Dude, and good writing.
Even
too.
if it doesn't look good, good acting will save it for sure.
Right.
Here's the thing: if the writing's good, you don't even need good acting, too. That's the funniest
That's
part.
a good point.
The writing's not good. Rosario Dawson's a fine actress too, I mean, right? I mean, I don't have any problem with her ever.
No, yeah, she's good.
But they just
I like her.
they told her to just, she crosses her arms a lot. My dad was getting pissed off. He's like, I swear to God, if you cross your arms again, I'm gonna throw this remote at the TV. Because she just will walk into a room and just be like. Just are you
I've got a bad attitude.
This is what I would naturally do.
right? I'm just are you confident or are you I don't know. She was supposedly, I didn't watch the cartoons, but she was supposedly really vibrant and had a personality. And I don't know if they're okay, to show she's grown, she has to be stoic, but not in the cool Qui-Gon Jinn way, just sort of in the nothing burger way, where you're just not emoting for an iota.
I remember seeing
time.
the trailer for that show, and I was like, "Oh, this looks really good." I mean, I know that at this point they have so much money and production value goes into these shows; they all look great. But I don't know. I saw that one, and I was like, "Oh, this might be really good."
This and Andor have that same look, where they look a step above all these other ones they put out. They look cinematic. I was about to say cinematographic. The CGI is all good. There's a few spots here and there though where it looks not good. But I would say 75% at when there's ships flying through space or the interiors of places, they look solid. But the sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say one dog water part of the whole shit is the costume design, the makeup, and all that. The girl from Scott Pilgrim, the main chick from Scott Pilgrim, she plays this general that has like she's like a green skin, like has the two tentacles coming off the back of her head, like one of those aliens, and it looks like a cosplay, and that's like a really base statement, just like it looks bad like a cosplay, like it looks like a bad cosplay. It's like a thin layer of green makeup, and then she's got this goggle headwear that's clearly to give them less work to do to show the tentacles coming off of her.
Yeah.
And the tentacles hanging off, they look like they're stuffed to the brim with like styrofoam. So she'll like move her head, and they'll just like kind of like
they're like stiff.
Yeah, and I'm like, these are supposed to be like droopy ass tentacles. I mean, it looks so bad.
Yeah.
And then
that's crazy.
Yeah, and basically there's these three main women that are it's Ahsoka, the green girl, and then
I'm looking at this
Padawan.
shit.
Yeah, and they're all three have the exact same personality of just nothing.
You can't even tell it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead under that too.
Yeah, so her Ahsoka's Padawan or whatever, she's watching this hologram of their friend from the cartoon that he's supposedly gone somewhere, and she's like watching a message that this guy left her, and she's just watching it with like the emotion of like just
me scrolling on my phone while I take a shit.
Right, yeah. She's just like, and I'm like, could have cried, could have shown any sort of anything.
So bad directing too, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put it on this actress. I mean, but yeah, they could have just told her like, yeah, you're a badass. You're too cool to show emotion or whatever. And then the first episode. Oh, sorry.
No, we're going off though. This is good.
Yeah,
I like
there's a lot of bad shit in it.
Yeah.
The main character, that girl, gets stabbed with a lightsaber to end the first episode. Next episode, wakes up in a hospital bed. She gets stabbed like right here through the liver. And gets moved a little bit too.
Right. So there's been a permanent funnel put into her internal organs, instantly cauterized by the heat of the lightsaber. Basically, a fucking train, like a fucking tunnel that goes through a mountain, was just put into her midsection, and then she woke up.
Remember when Qui-Gon's shoving his lightsaber through the blast doors in Phantom Menace, and it's just
magma?
Just turning white hot instantly, just spreading. And she holds it there for a good 2 or 3 seconds, and then pulls it out. The bad guy.
So luckily this was a not powerful lightsaber. This was
had it on low
sort
temp.
of the butter knife. Low temp lightsaber. This was a low temp lightsaber. That should be the name of this episode.
Right? Yeah, it's running on low battery right now, so it's like not that hot, but it'll go through you. But damage.
That's funny.
But by the end of the episode, she has just like a scab there.
That's stupid.
And
it should be a fucking hole you could fucking talk through.
Dude, by the end of basically with what's happening in the B plots and such, you can sort of, they don't give you any specific days or timelines, but the thing that was stolen in that fight that they had, the bad guys are then doing something the very next episode with. So it's basically implied like a day has passed, like maybe 2, maybe a week. But yeah,
I just can't wait for the Star Wars brand to dilute itself into literal nothing where no one's interested in it anymore.
It's there.
That's gonna come someday.
We're there.
It will happen.
It
will happen.
I know Star Wars is a massive IP and people will always be inspired by it because those movies are so good. But there's gonna come a day where it's like we're gonna get a break from Star Wars. Like in the 90s and late 80s, before Phantom Menace came out, like the mid to early 90s, Star Wars was like, bro, that movie's old. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
The third one came out in 83, bro. It's like an old movie. It was like an old movie, and it would be like nerdy and like outdated to bring it up. And now it's like, it's basically since the prequels, it's held kind of a, I guess slightly after the prequels for a stretch, it wasn't as like Star Wars, but honestly, between like the Star Wars Lego games and all the video games, and then Lucas redoing the 3D shit by the time we were in high school, and then before we were in college, it being sold to Disney and all this shit. So anyhow.
It's already there, dude. I mean, it's never gonna like think of something like another sci-fi thing like Supernatural, right? Not that big of an IP, but it had a built-in fan base that let it last 15, 16 seasons.
Yeah.
Star Wars has more than that. Obviously, it's massive still, pretty much, but it has, and a lot of the same way Marvel movies, like people are just tired of them, mostly because they're bad. If they were good, people wouldn't be tired of them. But I think it's always going to have a built-in audience to where they'll be putting something out, but it's going to turn into that level of just like TV level sci-fi.
But I'd say the difference is like on the surface, it's much more commercial. So like the cult fan base aspect of Star Wars fans is going to be, I mean, it'll still be there, but I feel like that will wear thin too because of how far it's like strayed from the original kind of ethos of the whole thing. So I like Connor was saying, like it's going to get to a point where it's like so stretched thin that like it will just be like wallpaper, like, and then the studios are going to be like, wait, no one's watching our shows? And it's like, yeah, you like ran that shit into the ground.
I mean, they already know no one's watching.
No, I know. It's crazy. I was going to ask you earlier. I remember when you were watching Andor, you were saying you liked it a lot, but now we fast forwarded. In retrospect, looking back, do you still think that that's like a good show that they've made?
Andor? I haven't seen Andor.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard Andor is very good. I haven't seen it.
I thought you watched it for some reason.
Maybe I watched like the first episode. I don't think I finished. I don't think I finished it though.
Okay.
Never mind. Yeah, no, because I think I did watch the first episode at least.
I'm just curious because a lot of this happens with Marvel too. Like a good example, and we were talking about this the other day, Connor, is like the Spider-Man movie. I remember like in the middle of watching the movie, like I was like laughing at some of the parts and I just like I had a good time watching it. But it seems like with Marvel movies and the Star Wars like shows and stuff, it's always like after you've left it and you look back and you're like, yeah, that wasn't good. It doesn't like the impression that it leaves on you in the moment you're consuming the movie or the show, it doesn't last very long. Like the charm does not stick. No. And like I remember like maybe a week after I saw Spider-Man, I was like, yeah, that movie sucked.
No Way Home.
In the moment when I was watching it, like I was like laughing and I was having a good time, but it wasn't enough where it was like, oh yeah, that was a good movie. And I feel like that happens a lot with like the Star Wars shit too.
Yeah. You're talking about No Way Home, right? The most recent one with
sorry.
Yeah, I was kind of cold on that movie. I don't want to say right away because like it was better than so much of what had been coming out, but looking back, like I haven't felt the need to rewatch it.
Same.
And I thought thinking about a lot of the plot, it just was stupid. And then they and contrived, like bringing back like a ton of villains to your apartment. Like I was just like, that's fucking dumb.
Dude, don't even fucking get me started on that fucking movie, honestly. And then like, don't even get me fucking started. That movie is a YouTube short. Right. Like that movie's like a fucking TikTok movie. It's like I can't even begin.
Honestly, what upset me the most, and I've said it before on the show, was how I'm not even gonna say the final battle was mid.
No, it was. Bro,
yeah, it was below mid.
Boring. It's fucking Green Goblin wearing a fucking pullover hoodie and Spider-Man without his mask on, just giving each other right and left hooks over and over again, sitting on a bronze plate that's supposed to be like the Statue of Liberty being reconstructed, but it's like
right, and the whole fight leading up to that, it's a dimly lit construction site.
Yeah, it's dimly lit. It's lit like there's fucking China balls and shit, and that's it. And it's just like, dude, it's like fucking like insanely bad.
And it's
crazy. You know what bothers me the most about? You know what bothers me the most is when is when we're like it's like we're insisted to like uncharismatic, uninteresting fucking characters just because they're in front of us.
Yeah.
Like that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like just writing someone into something is enough. You do not have to. It's like that girl in fucking the Doctor Strange movie.
Right.
They didn't do anything for her, bro. They didn't give her any background, nothing. She had such cool powers. She had such a cool place in that story. But, bro, they gave us nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to blame her. I don't know what exactly they were thinking, but, like, talk about, like, one of the most forgettable characters of all time.
And they were, dude, when I went to that premiere, they were you know, the fucking oxygen huffing, like, you know, interviewers on the red carpet that are literally paid to just be shills and hype everything up. We're like interviewing every fucking actor. Mm-hmm. And it was like everyone was talking about this girl debuting in this movie and also this character debuting in the MCU was so just like, of course, this is like the coolest part of this whole fucking movie is this. And it was like, absolutely forgettable. And dude, that No Way Home movie, Tom Holland is Spider-Man. Zendaya, is that how you say her name?
Yeah, Zendaya.
Mm-hmm. And then Buddy, the guy in the chair, Greg or whatever the fuck.
Right.
The guy who's been memed to have like a huge dick and be like a super alpha.
Yeah.
Like a super powerful. They kind of gave Ned the Scooby-Doo meme treatment.
Right. Yeah.
The shaggy treatment.
God.
And man, do I not give a shit about any of the three of them at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not charmed by any of them. You want to know why? This is the thing that's been lost in movies. People are cast because they're cute too much, not because they have a fucking personality.
Right.
Tobey Maguire is weird.
Yes.
He is awkward through all those fucking movies. That is called a personality. It's a weird personality, but it's effective and real, and it comes from a real place. He's out in public. You see him around. He looks exactly just as awkward as Peter Parker because that's who he is. Yeah. Tom Holland and Zendaya and Ned, like, are just cute kids that have been groomed to fucking be child stars by their parents and the people around them and everything. They're like totally media trained, everything. There's nothing interesting happening. They just read the lines, but you know if you talk to them in person, most boring fucking conversation you probably ever had in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I've never. Did
you see that one movie Zendaya was in though with John David Washington, and it was like the one night. It was like the couple. And it was shot in black and white. And
Sam Levinson or something like that.
I don't know, but it was just like the movie about like the couple and they were like having a fight the whole night, and it's just like that was a pretty good movie. Because I think
can act. I mean,
she can act. I just think it's just, you know, the writing and the franchise itself. But I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, they're just cast because they're cute kids, and it happens so often nowadays. I mean, and that's just like a byproduct of like Hollywood. I mean, that's just how American, you know, film consumers are. Like, we're gonna go see a movie because of the actor, and not necessarily because they're a good actor or because of you know, the material, but rather they're people are fans of the person, and most of the time it's because of how attractive they are.
I mean, that's literally why. I mean, they foregone. They basically said, we won't have Mary Jane. We'll just get Zendaya, the biggest female actor on the planet. Yeah, the biggest, you know, icon or whatever on the planet, and we'll just, you know, we'll name her Michelle Jones, so it's like MJ, but we're really just putting Zendaya in the Spider-Man movie, so she can be in the first movie she'll be a little tomboyish, but by the second and third she's, you know, Zendaya, fully Zendaya.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us on this Spider-Man.
No, it's okay. No, I also feel like her character in those movies has absolutely nothing to fucking do.
No.
Absolutely nothing going on.
She's very flat in that.
Nothing memorable about her character in those movies. And also Zendaya, I think she can act. I just have not seen her more like serious stuff. I've literally only seen her in like the Spider-Man movies, and in those movies, I feel like she seems like not a good actress. She seems like a fucking Nickelodeon sitcom star, like to me. That's
you should check out that movie she was in with John David Washington. I mean, I'm not saying like it's the best movie ever made.
No,
but I mean, it's
I never watched Euphoria. I'm sure she's probably good in that.
She's good in Euphoria.
I've only seen some clips of Euphoria that have made it where it's so funny because I watched all of The Idol and I don't necessarily hate it. I found it kind of interesting, but it's weird because it's the same guy. Yeah. And Euphoria, every clip I've seen of it makes me feel like I need to swallow a box of nails because it's like the most overly written, stylish dialogue I've ever heard. And then it's just a bunch of like, yeah, we're so fucked up and cool. It's just like, oh my God. This is like the smell of a dead body rotting in an apartment. Like that's how I can't even go into this room. Like what the fuck?
I get that.
But apparently she's so good in that show. Whoa, she acts high all the time. Whoa. So I don't know. To me, man, it's just when the world props something up so high and it's just shoved down your fucking throat. Yeah. It's like, you'll pardon me if I maybe gripe about the flavor if I don't like it. Or if I don't think it's stellar. You're shoving it down my fucking esophagus. Yeah. Sorry if I think, hey, maybe this isn't worth doing. Maybe this isn't. Maybe this is worth a little less hype. Just a little. Yeah. You know. And I feel that way about many things, man. Tom Holland is another example. You know.
The what? Like, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah. I just talk about a flat Stanley sticker from a book. Pasted into a fucking like literally the most like where did they find this guy? Where did they find this completely corporately perfectly harmless individual to play Spider-Man? You know, Disney executives when they found him, they nodded because he was just so
They're
harmless.
Like, this fucking kid.
Like the appeal will be so.
Is PR ready?
And they're honestly
He's cute.
They're honestly. Disney, Marvel, all of these things, we can sit here and pick apart what they did well, what they did wrong, and all these things. But these things majorly contribute to the disintegration of culture and the disintegration of truth and humanity in culture because it basically forces us to consider these things as the most important whatever and it's completely bereft of any humanity or like authenticity and all that. And it's just and part of the reason I say humanity is because there's no flaw to it. They're trying to make it as harmless, innocuous, and consumable as possible. Just take the pill, put it in your mouth, swallow it, fucking do it. Like
Another like observation from all this is like, you know, take Ahsoka for example. It's like it's produced by a largely female crew. The main three characters are women, and then I have all these critiques of it. Right, the flat acting, the nonsensical story.
Yeah, it means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely. If something's not well written, it means absolutely nothing. Who made it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. People,
if you have a pile of shit, you could have the most rainbow coalition of people building the big dog pile of shit together. Together, we're all in solidarity to build the biggest pile of shit you've ever seen. It doesn't matter. It's still just a pile of dung shit.
You'll get called sexist for that, but it's funny because it's more like, and it's or racist if you say you make fun of the Blue Beetle for being bad. You say, oh, you're racist against Latino. It's like no, I won't. I'm upset on their behalf because this quality of content that we're getting given to us at this point, and it being advertised as like, oh, all women are making this, or you know, this is all Latino, this Latino director or all Latino cast, and they're just delivering schlock to us. I'm like, these people deserve better, but instead, they're just like, yes, because it's made by whatever checkbox, that's good enough. That's good enough for you, and be mad at anyone that doesn't think it's good enough because they're upset that your type of person is in the movie. Like what, you know, it just
You shouldn't be
feeling cancel culture stuff. I'm just saying I'm upset for them. Like women deserve better. They deserve it. They can. I'm sure there are plenty of talented women that could make TV shows on the level of House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones or, or Breaking Bad or whatever. But now we're at this point in where these companies, these media companies, are so focus grouped and so about just putting out safe stuff that they're not giving any talented females chance to do anything experimental or
because they're not gonna hire talented writers or people who will make strong choices. They're gonna hire the people that are gonna best be the vehicle for their bullshit that they're trying to push.
Right.
Yeah.
No risk. Just like we'll make exactly what you want, Mr. Disney.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
Exactly. And they're
I'm a woman too, so
right.
Hey Tony, shut the fuck up real quick for 1 second.
That's my bad. Honestly.
Yo, fuck! I forgot something. Can I be honest? I forgot something.
Never be honest, dude.
It's pretty honest of you.
It will serve you well.
Deceive at all times.
Choose deception.
I live a code of deception at all times. It is August. Well, guess what did I forget?
What did you forget?
That's crazy.
Ladies and gentle thems and aggressive thems. It is August 27th, 2023. Welcome to another episode of Woken Boke. Boom! Little medium boom for you. Episode 189 to be exact. I am your host, Connor Boyd, one of them, I should say. You know me on the internet, probably from TikTok or TikTok videos posted on other platforms. At Moschino Dorito is my handle. I have been doing this podcast since October of 2019, and I started it with my best friend from the great gateway to the West. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna. From the great city of St. Louis, Missouri. Wow. Dude, cancel time.
Cancel.
I'm canceling myself for that.
I can't edit that.
How brave.
No, you have to run it through AI, Tony, and make it seem like I didn't say that. From the great city of St. Louis, Tony Harrup is here. Tony, what up? How you doing?
I'm like, I dodged a hangover, but I'm a little bit low on energy.
Facts.
But I got my, chug the gold monster, so I'm good now.
Facts. I also have a hangover as well. And I managed to dodge a severe one. It has been reduced to simply being a little tie-tie. We're also joined, as my dad would say, a little tie-tie. We are also joined today by a very loyal listener of the show and frequent guest. We have the one, the only, Marcus Eventide with us. Marcus.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm great, dude. How are you?
I'm swell.
That's good.
Swell. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's been a while.
It's been cool to see, since you've been here for so long, it's cool to see the Discord sort of grow different organs and branches to it.
Yes.
As we have the Buck side of things and my side of things. And then there's Wokenboke and people that were just in the Discord for the streams are like, wait, Wokenboke?
Right.
What is that?
You have a podcast? You have a podcast?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it longer than my TikToks.
It's true.
And it's the first creative thing basically I ever did in New York on my own. It was start this thing.
Yeah.
And the longest thing you've stuck to.
Yes. Yes. Except for Trish. I've known her longer. I've stuck to her longer.
That's
just kidding. That's not a creative pursuit. But yeah, man. Every week we just get together and do this. If you're not familiar, we talk about whatever is on our hearts and minds, video games, movies, music. Obviously there's like a through line in this show where Tony and I grew up in the age of like Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and we were in 8th grade when fucking Iron Man came out. And so we really grew up with Marvel movies and never expected them, I don't think, to hold such broad territory in the general sort of zeitgeist of the world, especially just in America, in the entertainment industry, how pervasive it is now. It's like Marvel and Disney are like a giant Zeppelin, war Zeppelin, flying over all of us, ready to fucking drop a fucking bomb on us.
But it's on fire right now.
Yeah, so it becomes this consistent thing in the show where it's just like we kind of love to bitch about how they just keep making this shit, this bad shit that's really been bad since what, Tony? Since basically after Endgame, it
pretty much.
So that would be what, 2019? So
2019, yeah.
So it's been years of just watching this. So that's a through line of the show. Another through line I'd say is that Tony and I have known each other for a very long time, and we're both gamers as well, especially Halo. Which is the shirt Tony's wearing. You can subscribe to this show on YouTube. I'm sure you already knew that. But you can follow us on Spotify, which helps us out, so you don't miss a single episode. You can also join our Discord, like I mentioned, which is a thriving 500 plus individual member community. And it's fun. We hang out a lot.
I'd like to schedule another Halo night.
Oh, we will.
Yeah. Put that out there.
I had a call the other day with Buck where we kind of like realized, those are important to the whole community.
Those are gas. We kind of realized.
Gas. You've
come to
going
to
church.
Tony?
Two. It is. It is like
you've come to two of them.
Two of them. One a while ago. One this year.
Yeah.
But I'd like to start doing it, every other week, once a month at least.
I think our general thing is we're going to do Halo 3 customs, if not that, a community gaming night once a month. Usually last Friday of the month. That would have been this Friday. We didn't do it, but Buck went upstate and I was busy and all kinds of shit. But we also have Instagram at wokenbokepodcast, and our Twitter is at wokenbokepod. We also have an email. And I think we should read an email after I'm done with my spiel.
It's a good idea.
The email is wokenbokepodcast@gmail.com with your questions, comments, and suggestions, and we will read them on the show. And links to all these are in the show description. I did a little pre-reading of this email actually because I was curious what it was. So
quite coincidental.
I'm just gonna get into it. Just this one email. If you all don't mind.
But please.
I do not mind.
The subject reads, Guestingtons on the Podcastingshire. This comes from Brendan. Hey, Connor and Tony. Brendan from Chicago here. Mediocre on Discord.
Oh.
Yes.
Homeboy.
Classic.
Our guy, Brendan. With Max on tour, do you guys have any plans for guests to come on the pod? Which is very funny. The answer is yes, obviously. If you do, can you leak or announce? Who would you like to have on? Dream guests versus realistic ones? I'm relatively new here, but loving it in the community you guys have built. Welcome, Boke forever. Shout out Buck. Sub to Buck. Shout out the Discord. And thanks. Brandon, thank you so much for the email, dude. Yeah, I mean, there's no like dream guests, but in terms of people that we fuck with, like, and know just from the Discord and shit, would love to have people on. I want to get Scroats on again, Ian. Buck, obviously, want to get Buck on. I feel like it'd be a really fun episode. Yeah, man. Like, I mostly just want to get some more chill Discord heads in here, and
we should get him too. Mediocre. He seems like a silly boy, and I think that's perfect for this podcast. He's very funny.
Indubitably. Yeah, man. So, yeah.
Gotta get Rafi on too.
You know what? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Raphael.
This isn't dream guess because it could happen, but it was just this is just funny because I was out last night. This kind of doesn't have to do with the email, but it just
I know what you're gonna say though.
Of people though. I ran into Kyle Gordon who is the Tony? Do you know the Planet of the Bass song?
It sounds familiar.
Well, let me see if I can just show you.
I knew you were gonna say that. That would be awesome.
But just in general, I mentioned him just because I ran into him and he's like,
I was like, is that a NASCAR drive?
No.
Sounds like one. Kyle Gordon.
It does sound like that.
In the peanut butter M&M car.
Jeff Gordon.
Have you seen this shit, Tony?
Jeff Gordon. Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon's son. But
Tony, have you seen this video?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he made that shit.
So that's like that's a more of a skit. It's not an actual song that was released on a record.
Well, now it is.
Now it's released.
It's a full,
actually, on Spotify.
Right, I didn't know if it was a full song or if it was like a 30-second clip sort of faux
song. The clip
song.
is what went viral, but then they put out a music video with the full song.
Yeah, it started out as the video, and then it the reaction was so crazy that not only is the song out now, but they've opened for Jonas Brothers, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And also the song's like charting on adult contemporary or some shit or fucking like dance electronic. It's like
so funny.
It's like number 30 or something. It's like in the top 50. And then like in Romania, it's like number 1, I think.
That's so funny. When the rhythm is glad, there is nothing to be sad.
It's perfect. Yeah, it goes crazy.
So good.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, they perfectly captured that sound they were going for, you know? Like it sounds pulled straight out of whatever year.
The bit is just so solid. Like Kyle's just really good at leaning into the bit and just sticking
DJ
with
Crazy Times.
Like, and DJ Crazy Times has been, that's a 2 or 3 year old character. I've seen those videos for like, that was what was so cool about running into Kyle was like, we've both kind of been classmates, as it were, on TikTok for years now and mutuals, and have watched each other grow and succeed and everything. And it was just like really cool to see. He was really hyped to see me, and I was really hyped to see him. And like we hugged it out, and it was just really cool and serendipitous. And yeah, man, I was just happy to tell him what I thought of him and his success and everything. And he's very chill, and he was giddy, bro. He was laughing and cracking up, and he was a fun guy.
You should get him on the pod. You should get him on the pod, and then you should also get Tony. However you say his last name, I already forgot. But he's a homie too, right?
Yeah.
Tony
and I now are like rivals. It's really funny. Tony will message me and be like, "You motherfucker." Because
one of my videos is so
funny. I love that kid, man. I really do.
He should get on the podcast. Not you. We don't love him.
Not Tony. That's
not Tony.
Like you could never rival me.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but
I could rival you in some stuff.
I don't know if you could ever rival the real Tony. But,
no, I could not rival that guy.
Just kidding. I'm joking.
No hard feelings.
Anyhow, yeah. So, yeah.
I have a topic. I saw the Gran Turismo movie last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How were it?
Actually, it was a good movie.
Yeah,
that's what I heard from my coworker.
I won't say like I was blown away, but I mean it was a good movie. And when the third act starts, it's like actually super dark and emotional, and I was not expecting it. Like for real. And I was like, oh shit. And then of course the ending part of the movie, the climax, like the final race, it's like,
it really is Gran Turismo.
It's Gran Turismo.
It's
a good movie. I would say go see it. I mean, you don't have to go see it in theaters. You can watch it on the TV, but
I don't have to do anything you tell me, so I don't have to do anything.
Whatever, dude.
Who's in it now? It's like Vince Vaughn or like Jason Segel.
No,
there's not. No.
Who's the main
David
coach?
Harbour and Orlando Bloom.
David Harbour. David Harbour. He's really good in that. He's really good in that.
He's a guy who makes me be like. I see him and I'm like, bro, that makes me feel like I could get out there.
No, he's legit. He's a really good role in this movie. Orlando Bloom's a little annoying, But my only critique about the movie is there's this very weird, forced, unnecessary, very pro-military moment that lasts like 15 seconds. It's like,
we love
wait,
those.
what the fuck is this doing in the movie? And then it just goes like, it just continues like it's just very weird.
It's like in Transformers when it'll be like, wait, we're getting a signal. It'll be like, burr, 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 burr. And it'll be like Army of One. We're sitting here at the fucking, yo, Sergeant, I think I got something. Yo, you're sexy for being in the Army. You're fucking hot. Like there's like 15 seconds where it's like the fucking Army. You want to fuck.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I was like, I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like Transformers has had so many the Call of Duty voice actors in them. Like that one guy who's like, Overlord Actual, we have your copy. Remember that bald guy who's the sergeant? Yeah. He's the commander in every fucking military movie.
There's a really funny part in the movie. It's not spoiling anything, but basically he's like at home. I don't know where he lives in the UK, but the guy lives in the UK, and he's like out late night with his brother and some friends, and then they're like at a pier that they shouldn't be or whatever, and the cops show up, and basically like the part of the movie is like the cops like pull them over as they're trying to drive away, and there's like two cars, and then the protagonist is like the car at the front, and he's like, oh, I can't miss like my race tomorrow. I gotta like not let this fuck
not get arrested.
That shit up for me. Yeah. So he just like books it, and he speeds, and he's like trying to like avoid the police. But the funny part of that scene is there's moments where it's like third person view of the car, like as if he was playing Gran Turismo. And it has like a little like what's the user
it's got
interface.
They threw a UI up on it.
Yeah, it was really cool. I thought that part was really funny.
That's
it was cool because they're cutting from that shot to like him in the car and like trying to like and gear shifting and shit, and then it's like the third person view. It's really funny.
That's funny. Me when I'm drunk driving.
First successful video game movie.
No, it was good. I liked it. Yeah, I would say maybe like
I guess Super Mario Brothers that made a shit ton of money.
Never mind. Yeah,
so that did
also fully animated though in terms of a live action. Recreation of a video game. I'm trying to think of ones that were good.
I rewatched the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
I haven't
with
seen
Trish.
the Sonic movies yet, but I want to.
I've seen both of them for some reason.
Well,
I watched the second one on a plane. I rewatched the Mario movie, and like the visuals in that literally make me want to bust. It's such a good looking.
I know it. We're watching this.
The last time I watched it, from pressing play at the beginning, I was like, I can't wait to watch this again after this. And I'm like watching the beginning, and so I'm like, oh, we're gonna be cracking up at this.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Trolls movie?
No. Though I have watched that. Several
my girlfriend and I
deep.
were in the movie theaters. It wasn't last night. It was some other time we were in the movie theaters, and they played the trailer for
together.
that.
There's 3 movies. What the fuck?
And the trailer ends, and she looks at me. She's like, "We should watch this on acid." And I was like, "Yeah."
Recommended.
Definitely could.
It's like I bring it up because it's like that. I mean, the CGI. They just like
Troye Sivan's in it. Anna Kendrick. RuPaul, Justin Timberlake, Camila Cabello. It's all people that sing. Eric Andre.
Eric Andre's become very.
He's in the machine.
Yeah,
He's got he and Johnny Knoxville have a fucking.
They have a show now.
Prank show on like network. Anyways,
dude, have you guys seen the new Lakers Celtics 80s rivalry show?
Winning Time, I think it's called.
Something like that. Somehow, yeah. I think that's why I thought of Jason Segel earlier, because he's in that, I think. And I'm
afraid to watch Jason Segel in something.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I thought this was just one season thing. I didn't realize this was.
I don't know if it's a one episode, like a movie or a show or okay. But yeah, it did throw me off though, because I was just like, people playing Magic and Larry Bird, and they look like exactly like them, and I don't know, it was just like, I was like, is this like a drama series, or is it more like a
I don't know, it's like it's just always some prestige cable fucking period piece drama. Fucking
right.
thing.
So it's like a drama series, and
it's like a drama comedy. It's fucking directed by Adam McKay, the first episode. So I'm assuming this is like a fucking Succession adjacent sort of approach.
Huh. I mean, that's kind of cool, but also like
it's cool, but it's like Jesus Christ. I don't know why. I just feel like people.
There's a movie coming out that looks really good. It looks like it's the same director as District 9. Is it District 9, that movie?
Yeah.
Neil Blomkamp, that's the guy who directed Gran Turismo. Neil Blomkamp.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
Same director?
He directed Gran Turismo.
Oh,
Neil
shit.
Blomkamp.
District 9, Elysium, and Chappie.
He has a new, I think it's him, but there's a new movie coming out. And it's like the same kind of shit. It's like robot alien type shit, but it looks like
tight.
Super awesome.
He does
What's
that
it
well.
Called?
I don't know. Honestly, I really don't.
Just look it up.
But I could tell you it's like about this little girl who's like a hybrid of a human and a robot. And she has like this hole in the side of her head that's like cybernetic and it has like lights. But basically like the movie seems to be about this person who's trying to protect this girl, and there's like some
I don't know if it's him because
it might not be him. I just thought it was because it like visually was very similar.
Stimmy.
I wonder if it's a sequel to Alita Battle Angel. That I would love to see, even though that movie was.
Let me see if I can find it.
Weird as fuck.
One more thing about Gran Turismo was really cool. They tell you at the end that a lot of the driving was actually done by the guy the movie's about. So like he did all of like the stunt driving for that movie, which was pretty cool. And they show him like side by side with the guy who's playing him. And
no, so he's not, based on his Wikipedia, Gran Turismo is his most recent project, and there's nothing else in the works.
Okay, let me see.
He did one in 2021 called Demonic, which I've never heard of. Sci-fi supernatural horror film. But those are his only 5 movies. The Chappie, Elysium, District 9 sort of run. And
I'm mad because I'm Googling this, trying to find it, and it's like negative. I'm like, no, I don't want to. It's not what I'm talking about.
Anyway. Freaking stinking. Sorry for the bitter. Damn, a 6-film pass is $300. That's actually not bad. We were looking at the lineup for New York Film Festival. Starts at the end of September. Oh shit.
The Creator. Sorry to interrupt. It's called The Creator, and it's John David Washington, and it's directed by Gareth Edwards.
Oh, Gareth Edwards. I think that's the dude who did
he did Rogue One.
And like fucking Godzilla and shit.
Right? Yeah. It looks
Whoa,
really good.
Wait, this looks crazy.
Yeah, it looks nuts.
What? Why are you laughing, Tony?
Just that soundbite. I don't know. I cut it in my head. Whoa, this looks crazy.
But wait, like it literally looks like original sci-fi.
No, it is.
That's fucking awesome.
Great. Watch the trailer, dude. It looks awesome. Like it really looks cool.
I'm looking at the poster. It looks fucking incredible.
You see the one with the robot standing in the grass field? It looks
like Star Wars. No.
It looks pretty cool.
I'll definitely peep that.
On this same topic.
Well, wait, I was going to get to something, Tony.
Yeah, go film for him.
You've been talking all episode, buddy. Okay.
Well, shoot, I just did. Well, don't forget about it. I was going to talk about the Rebel Moon trailer because it's like the exact same thing, like some supposedly original sci-fi.
I will remember. Go ahead.
I thought it looked good, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to mention New York Film Festival starts at the end of September, and we were looking at the lineup yesterday, and there's just so many good movies playing at this shit. It's insane. I got to write down the tickets go on sale September 19th because I want to see a lot of these.
How do you know they're good if you haven't seen them yet?
Well, okay. If a fucking movie was directed by Martin Scorsese, would you think that would be
is that the
want to see?
Killer Moon? Killers of the Flower
I don't know if
Moon,
that's playing here, but I'm just saying, like, there's a bunch of movies. Okay, let me rephrase, Tony.
Let me rephrase.
Get it
there's
right,
a bunch
Tony.
of good directors who will have movies coming out that are playing at this festival. It's literally ridiculous.
Being very
so,
good.
Stop interrupting, Tony. Jesus.
I'm trying to understand.
Tony!
Go.
What the frig, dude?
Continue.
Fucking crazy.
Also, I realized that the new Miyazaki movie is being called The Boy and the Heron instead of what it's in Japanese, which I think is like How Do You Live is the actual name in Japanese.
Interesting.
But it's called The Boy and the Heron in America. Anyways, the main slate, listen to this shit. Todd Haynes is coming out with a movie called May December. That's opening night, North American premiere. Sofia Coppola has a new movie, Priscilla, which is, I think, her movie about Priscilla Presley or whatever, the fucking Elvis shit. That is making its North American premiere as well. Ferrari, the Michael Mann, the director of Heat and other incredible films. The Enzo Ferrari movie where Adam Driver plays the creator of Ferrari.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
That's going to be a really fucking good movie. It's 130 minutes and it's making its North American premiere at the shit. There's also, let's see, what else? There's a lot more, but if I just scroll down.
Dude, Adam Driver looks so different too.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Wow.
Oh, Aki Kaurismäki has a new film, Fallen Leaves. If you know, you know, with that guy, he's a fucking guy.
He's a fucking guy.
There's a new Wim Wenders movie coming out called Perfect Days. It's a Japanese movie. There's another Yorgos Lanthimos movie coming out. I think that's the guy who did The Deer or whatever, The Deer Heart or whatever the fuck, called Poor Things. There's also there's a new Jonathan Glazer movie. There's an Agnes Varda movie coming out. There's a Bradley Cooper movie coming out. Okay, here's one movie that is really interesting. There's a new Harmony Korine movie coming out.
Really?
It is called Aggro Drift. Now listen to this. Harmony Korine's hallucinatory trance film shot entirely in retina-scorching infrared and set to an intoxicating Arab music score cast Jordi Mola and rapper Travis Scott in a feverish, transporting action movie miasma of skulls and swords, masks and machine guns, strippers and mobsters, horned demons and hot cars.
Wow.
So and it's like Goosebumps, the movie.
Like his song. Right. Well, my thought is like it's an 80-minute movie, which makes sense because you can't, if you're watching infrared for 80 minutes, you know, I feel like you go outside and everything's going to look reverse color or something like that. It's going to look wrong.
What's it called?
Sorry. It's called Aggro Drift, and it's preceded by some short films by David Cronenberg. There's also another short film that's on film called Bleat by Yorgos Lanthimos, and then The Boy and the Heron is making its U.S. premiere at the film festival, which is insane. And then there's a Nathan Fielder, Benny Safdie movie called The Curse, which is actually crazy because this is
I've seen that.
This is 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Oh my god!
In this brilliantly discomfiting collaboration between Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie, Fielder and Emma Stone play married entrepreneurs. Don't call them gentrifiers who flip houses and convert them into eco-friendly homes for the struggling residents of Espanola, New Mexico, all for an HGTV style reality show. The New York Film Festival is pleased to premiere the first 3 episodes of this genre-defying series. Got it. So it's a show. So the show is actually
is it
premiering there.
Okay, yeah.
It's going to be like a Showtime show. What do you mean? What?
When you say Nathan Fielder, I'm like, is it like a meta like?
No, I think this is like an actual fictional
show. A show about them making a show.
Yeah, no, it's like a horror comedy apparently.
Interesting.
Then there's also Richard Linklater's movie Hitman's coming out. It's got its U.S. premiere, and that stars Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick. So I'm excited about that.
Is that like based on the Hitman video games?
No.
Okay.
You wish.
You wish that. There's also a fucking Frederick Weissman documentary. Brilliant. Holy shit. What? Frederick Weissman brings his camera into a 3-star Michelin restaurant in rural central France. And the results are as expansive, delectable, and provocative as one would hope. A patient kaleidoscopic documentary portrait of the demand for perfection. Dog, this is a 4-hour movie.
Oh my god!
Oh shit!
What this is a 240-minute movie. This is a 4-hour documentary. That's actually insane. Jesus Christ. There's also Occupied City, a Steve McQueen's 4.5-hour documentary also is a mammoth confrontation with a shameful historical legacy that draws parallels to our contemporary world, recounting in prismatic fashion and with startling sobriety the realities of life in Amsterdam during World War II under the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands. Wow. Using newly shot images of the city's forever haunted spaces. There's another fucking there's an Errol Morris documentary coming out, which he's one of the greatest documentary filmmakers of all time. There's also, let's see, a Pedro Almodovar film coming out, a short film. He's been making short films. Let's see, is there fucking anything more? I just want to make sure, because I wanted to just capture how many things are happening at this shit.
Yeah.
Then there's like revivals and shit. Okay.
That sounds incredible.
Are you gonna go see everyone?
No, of course not. I would like to. They're doing revivals. Revivals showcases important works from renowned filmmakers that have been digitally remastered, restored, and preserved with the assistance of generous partners. And there's a lot of these that are fucking good, like The Stranger in the Fog, La Rue, Woman on the Beach. It's a Jean Renoir film.
I interrupt for a second?
In general. No, absolutely.
Speaking of remastered, we don't have to like get into a whole discussion about this, but I did want to just note that I recently saw Old Boy remastered in the theaters, and I'd never seen the movie before.
So did Max.
And it was incredible, dude. That's all I have to say about that. But real quick, Tony, before you get to your
the Josh Brolin remake,
Rebel Moon. No, fuck no.
Just fuck that.
I know you wanted to talk about Rebel Moon, but real quick, there's another Netflix show that's coming out. It's based on a book that I read. It's a sci-fi story, and it's called The 3-Body Problem. And originally, it was a Chinese book that was translated to English. And it's a 3-book series. I've only read the first one, and I got like halfway to the second one. But they're making a show about it. Apparently, it's going to probably premiere in January on Netflix. And I'm really excited for that because that book, the one book that I read, was incredible. And it was a very interesting sci-fi story that I don't think has been explored yet.
I've not heard about that at all. So that's tight.
Yeah, I mean, look,
there's a drought of good shows right now.
I have, like the book right here. Like this is the book.
Ooh. So is it like what's the closest thing you could compare it to? Vibe wise. Like
a little bit of, I'm going to do it injustice by trying to compare it, but like a little bit of Ender's Game mixed with like sort of like an apocalypse story. And then also like it delves into VR a little bit, but not in like a corny way. It's actually a very interesting approach to it. I don't want to give too much away, but I mean, I can't say enough good things about this book. So I'm hoping that they don't botch it with the show. But I mean, if they do a good job with it, it's going to be awesome.
Well, I'll definitely check that out. Is there a trailer?
I don't know, actually. But they have I was at Barnes and Noble last night and they were selling this book, but then they had a little sticker in the corner that was like coming to Netflix with the Netflix logo. And I looked into it and I was like, oh shit. What did you want to say about Rebel Moon, Tony?
I mean, it looks about the quality of like Ahsoka, where it like or like Andor, where like it looks probably good like 75% of the time, but there are some sort of mainly wider shots where they're doing like it's completely CGI, and it just looks, kind of, still the same as like 300, or something back in those days when
this
they had
is
those.
Zack Snyder, right?
It is, yeah.
Interesting.
And I like his style, honestly, because if anything, it's like
Rebel
distinct.
Moon.
So like it's going to be a series that Zack Snyder's doing for Netflix.
It's a 2-part movie.
I was going to mention this.
Interesting.
Yeah. It looks cool. The trailer starts though with Anthony Hopkins, and he's like,
"Wait, this is fucking Seven Samurai in fucking Star Wars. This is the movie we've always This is what my friend Jacob and I always talked about. Based on the plot, it's like a woman having to go and find fighters to help them fight off the basically the tyrannical army that's occupying them.
Sorry, it sounded like a key to everything type of plot, where it's like this, legend foretells of a girl that's like the key to everything, and then she has to do whatever. So
I was going to bring this up earlier about Zack Snyder. I read that he apparently went to Disney and goes, "Hey, I want to direct a movie. I want it to be R-rated. I don't want it to have any pre-existing Star Wars characters, but I want it to take place in the Star Wars universe." Basically, exactly what we've always said they need to start doing with that IP. And he was told no. And that just it confirms
that's
what we
so
all
annoying.
I mean, that's not surprising though. Like they're not going to take risks with the.
And that's the problem is no one's taking risks anymore. That's the problem.
But are we ever going to get an R-rated? I guess we're getting an R-rated Marvel movie.
You can't take 30% of your yearly production budget and fucking make slightly less expensive films that are maybe more risky just to do R&D and make up new shit. Because if you get a successful hit out of that, you fucking make a whole nother franchise to milk forever. 100%. So I don't know why they wouldn't do that, but it's also just like most companies in media in general, it just makes more, we've talked about it makes more financial sense to lean on pre-existing IPs than it does to take risks. So
yeah.
Catalog. It's just about buying the right catalog,
I hate that it's all just financial decisions. It's not like creativity is like not the forefront of concern.
Because they want to do it cheaper.
I'm hoping we can all build some other shit soon. I'm hoping people catch on to that. But I say we cut it off there, man. It was a good app.
Good app.
Yeah. I don't want to give you too much to edit, Tom.
I'm excited for all of the shit that's coming out.
Dude, tons of stuff. It's insane. It was like all that shit that you were listing off sounded insane. Like the infrared movie with Travis Scott. Like what?
Yeah, that sounds crazy. I saw some pictures right now. I was like, wow.
And then Michael Mann, I forgot who that was, but now I see all his movies, and that it's crazy. He hasn't put out a movie since 2015, and then since 2009 before that. That Ferrari movie is the one he's doing. It's funny. I looked up the Ferrari movie and I scrolled down a little bit, and of course there was a Lamborghini movie that came out last year. Didn't even hear about that. I wonder if that one's going to be good.
This Aggro Drift movie is about to become the best background movie of all time. The best movie to just throw on a party of all time. Aggro Drift.
Oh, Aggro Drift.
Oh, for sure.
I wonder, is Ferrari going to be like a Wolf of Wall Street style? Like,
I mean, it's going to be Michael Mann, so I feel like it's going to have like sort of a dramatic, polished kind of like. Yeah, I think it's going to be more like a biopic.
I'm excited for that for sure. Ferrari over Lamborghini every day.
I don't know what his story is like, so I don't know if it. I don't so much mean in the film style, more of is it a wild story, like or is it just pretty straightforward, like I could see the founder of Ferrari being like insane, having a Jordan Belfort type life.
I feel like Michael Mann I've heard as a director is just so, it's like working in the military damn near. It's like this guy's so sharp and just everything matters so much, and it's just craftsmanship and everything. And I feel like that's why he makes movies about like shit like that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Heat?
For sure. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I've only seen it the one time. I watched it maybe 2 years ago or so. It was when I was in Houston.
Watch it again.
I will, yeah, no, because like I was unsure what I thought of it, but it had I did like the overall like vibe of it, if for lack of a better word. So maybe I'll get more out of it.
Great movie.
Oh, it's good, man. If you watch it through the lens of like, this movie's just about how men interact with each other.
Yeah, I remember reading your review about it a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it directly inspired the bank robbery scene in Dark Knight. Like the Dark Knight bank robbery scene is straight from that movie.
It's like a direct homage, obvious homage to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good stuff.
The scene where he's sitting in his living room and it's just like ominous music playing. Like I feel like that stuck with me, you know. He's just sitting there on his
great soundtrack.
Chair. Yeah,
well,
crazy soundtrack.
And like there's all this like postmodern shit in it. Like his like Al Pacino's like wife is like lives, or like ex-wife lives in like a postmodern like house or whatever. I don't know. It's funny. All right. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us, dude. Appreciate you very much.
It was a fun time, fellas.
Good to see you and talk to you as always.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tony. Good talking with you, my friend.
You as well. It was a good hour.
Yeah.
Everybody,
good hour.
Tune in next week for more Woken Boke. Woken Boke forever, motherfuckers. Peace the fuck.
That gummy got me.
Oh yeah, it's working.
Yeah.